Hello, welcome to Nerd Since 86. My name is Kyle, and in this video we'll be talking about Batwoman Season 2, Episode 1, What Happened to Kate Kane? We should start things off by saying that they were really on a hiding to nothing in this episode because Ruby Rose left the show in between seasons, so she hadn't been written out. The character of Kate Kane was not written out before they started filming this season. Should they have recast? I'm not sure. I do find it weird when a character gets recast, so they went with a new character anyway. Ryan Wilder, that's been introduced. But the problem is, they had so many storylines ongoing from season 1, which were related to Kate Kane, that this episode really had to sort of reset the board. Take the Bruce Wayne storyline, for example. His friend who's posing as him. That, I think, was meant to last multiple episodes on the show, but it didn't, because really, what connection has Bruce Wayne got to Ryan Wilder? I have a feeling that was meant to go longer, but they just wrapped it up in one episode. I feel sorry for the actor who was cast as the Bruce Wayne lookalike, because maybe he was meant to get more episodes. But who knows, maybe Bruce will show up in a future episode. We still don't know where he is. Fingers crossed for Bruce Wayne appearance, the real Bruce Wayne. So the question everyone really is asking is, how did Ryan Wilder do as the lead character? I'm going to say this. I'm a little bit hit and miss right now. It felt like a lot of Ryan's dialogue was not truly like a character speaking, and more of a, I've got to fit as much exposition into this to explain who I am as possible. But I did love the speech she gave where she talked about how she's just a number and how a lot of, black Americans are just a number. I love that speech, but I think everything else was a little bit too, it was trying to catch us up too much. But I appreciate that they didn't really have much choice because they needed to get her into the suit and a reason for it. So I am going to forgive them for that one. I do think, though, that the character's got some potential. The mystery as to how the kryptonite didn't floor her, the kryptonite bullet, I'm really interested in that. I did wonder if she was a meta by the fact that even Luke was shocked that the kryptonite bullet didn't put her down. So I was thinking then, is she a meta in some way? But particularly the beating we saw her take as well when her stepmother, or adopted mother, died. So I did wonder that. And then at the end, we got the moment where she pulled her top open, and we could see that the wound was leaking out, kryptonite was spreading through it. If she wasn't a meta, maybe she's going to turn into one, or maybe she just got poisoned, I'm not sure. I think it's possible that this Batwoman, if she isn't already, she may become a meta. And I think that's an interesting idea, because Kate Kane didn't have any superpowers at all, so it would be really interesting if Ryan Wilder does, because, again, it just helps differentiate them. So what did I think of how they wrote out Kate Kane? They did the best they could if they didn't want to actually just kill her off screen, like by confirming it. We didn't get confirmation in this. It doesn't look good, though. Kate Kane's plane went down. They found her luggage, which the Batsuit was in. Sophia has taken credit for it, I think. I saw at the end of the episode. It was like a blink and you miss it, though, on a newspaper. And I did blink, unfortunately. But I think it was Sophia is what it was saying to us, to get back at Alice. I like that they've left it open, because it does leave the opportunity for Ruby Rose just to come back for an episode or two to finish off her character and then just go off into the night, I guess. Maybe they don't know how to do that yet. I suspect that's why they left it open, because now everyone on the show thinks Kate Kane is dead, so they're going to do their grieving and moving on. So there must be a reason why we didn't get confirmation, or why we didn't see a body bag or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking, is that they want to leave it open to get her back. I hope Ruby Rose left on well enough terms that she would come back, but the fact that she wasn't even there for the first episode to write the character out makes me think that maybe things weren't 100% good when she went. I guess my main thing, though, is if they are actually going to kill her off, why didn't they confirm it in this episode to us, the viewer, that she was dead? Why leave it as a mystery? Because it is still a mystery. It doesn't look good, like I said, but it's still a mystery. So I'm curious as to what that really means going forward. Because if we're just going to get like an offhand mention a few episodes down the line or at the end of the season that, oh yeah, we found a body, she's dead, then it kind of makes you ask why even make it a mystery in the first place. And might even cheapen her death more if it just becomes an offhand comment later on, rather than making it part of the overall grief about her in this episode. I love the stuff with her dad. Alice telling him that Kate was Batwoman was brilliant. When she said, "I know something you don't know," I thought she was going to say that it was that Bruce was an imposter. It didn't cross my mind that she was going to say that Kate was Batwoman, and her trying to guilt him into the fact that the last time he really spoke to her was to make it clear how much she hates Batwoman and was shooting at her. That was like the closest she could get to her original plan, which was to get him to kill Kate. So I think that she kind of achieved her goals there. It broke him. He got confirmation at the end when he lit the bat signal up and Batwoman didn't show up. That was his confirmation that Kate was Batwoman. So I'm curious to see how he reacts to someone else taking on the suit now. Like, he's gone from thinking Batwoman represented so much bad things, but is he now going to think that Ryan being in the Batsuit is disrespecting Kate's legacy? I'm really interested to see where that goes. My favourite character, Alice, had a fair bit to do in this episode, actually. Seems a bit lost without Mouse. Really, the end of the episode kind of set her on a path now. It's interesting because we got the indication that Sophia is responsible for Kate's disappearance / death to get back at Alice. And so Alice has decided that she now has a purpose. She's going to go after Sophia. So in a weird way, Alice, who killed an innocent woman in this episode, in fact, brutally, I think was it scissors to the neck or a knife to the neck? I wonder how he even got rid of that body. Technically, she's kind of got a hero's journey now against Sophia. So I'm really interested how they're going to do this, because we're going to be rooting for Alice to get payback against Sophia. But Alice is a villain. She is a murderer. She's psychotic. And we know that Ryan is going to go after her as well. So Alice is still a villain, but also has a revenge storyline that we support her in. I'm so conflicted with Alice, because she is nuts. And she's a bad woman. But I always find myself semi-rooting for her when she's got a little bit of a good objective, which is very rare, to be fair. Otherwise, she's generally quite nasty. So I just hinted at it. The Ryan link to Alice. My partner said to me during the episode when she saw the recap of it and said, how are they going to make Alice have any interest in the new Batwoman? We've lost that whole connection. Well, we found out, didn't we? Alice's goons were responsible for killing Ryan's adopted mother and for beating the holy hell out of Ryan. Didn't see that coming. That right there becomes a great connection, because it's gone from Alice wanting to go after Batwoman / Kate in season 1 for revenge, whereas this season we've now got Ryan / Batwoman wanting Alice for revenge. It's completely flipped, and we don't know yet if Ryan can restrain herself from killing. She almost did it at the end of the first episode, so we'll have to see how that goes. The trailers for season 2 suggest that is going to become a discussion, at least, because we've seen Luke go on about how Batwoman does not kill. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Alice reacts to another Batwoman. I think she is going to either find it fun, or she's going to be slightly annoyed that her sister's suit has been worn by someone else. Loved everything between Mary and Luke. I think they're going to become really important. Team Batwoman, or whatever you want to call them. If we're going to go with the Arrowverse analogies from the other shows with their teams, Team Arrow, Team Flash. I imagine this whole coming together thing has happened a little quicker because of Ryan joining the team. So I think they're going to be like a trio working in sync much quicker than it would have happened had Kate still been around as the lead. But I loved them in it. I thought they're good. I thought, Luke had some really, really powerful stuff where he felt responsible for Kate's death. So I'm curious to see how that carries on for him as the show goes on, particularly if he gets any indication that Kate may still be alive. So what did I think of this episode? Honestly, I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't good, but it was okay. Batwoman has had some exceptional episodes in its first season. I do not doubt that there'll be more in the second season, but this was a really hard episode for them. They had to finish up some storylines quicker than they would have planned, and they needed to introduce some new storylines for Ryan. And I think they did a great job of introducing the storylines for Ryan. I'm not so sure they completely did a great job of ending some of Kate's storylines, but they did speed them up So I can sort of have some consideration for that, some sympathy for where they're at. They were in a hard place with it. But I think by episode 3 or 4, we should really see what Batwoman is going to look like with Ryan Wilder wearing the cowl rather than anyone else. So I am confident still that we're going to have a really good season of TV ahead of us and that we won't even miss Kate Kane. What did you think of Batwoman Season 2, Episode 1? What happened to Kate? Please let me know in the comments. Press like on this video and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos from myself on Batwoman and more. Thank you.